What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon NFL DFS video. We're breaking down the Thursday Night Football showdown between the Baltimore Ravens and Miami Dolphins. So we've got Lamar back. We've got Tua, who showed up last week in a game that I was not expecting them to show up and put up as many points as they did. But hopefully we have a really good Thursday Night Football game. So if you've never been here before, we're going to break it down. We're going to look at the Vegas odds. We are going to look at the matchups. So we're going to look at DraftKings data, and we're going to look at the historical stats from 2023 till now and how to build tournament lineups using projections, using correlations, and we're going to look at the percentages of captains and what position they are and kind of how to break down the lineup as well. After that, we're going to build you a few tournament lineups. Now, again, news and notes can come out throughout the day, but we're going to build you some tournament lineups there. We're going to look at our matchup tool, which you can only find at Fantasy Team Advisors. And finally, we are going to show you, I have a five leg parlay for Thursday Night Football that we want to smash, and I'll show you that at the end. So let's jump into the Vegas odds real quick. So as of the making of this video, it has an over-under of 51, which is high compared to a Thursday Night Football game, which we're very excited about to get a high-scoring game here. We've got the Baltimore Ravens 29.25 implied team total. We have the Miami Dolphins 21.75. So the spread's pretty big, and hopefully it stays, and hopefully we can take advantage of it, and that's exactly what I want to do here. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the stats from 2023 till now, right now. And you can find this article down below, but we've got 82% of the winning lineups on DraftKings have contained at least one quarterback. I fully expect both of these mobile quarterbacks to be in the winning lineup here. It just, if we can afford it and we can fit them in there. Only 5% of the winning lineups used all $50,000 in salary, so do not feel like you need to use all of the salary. You do not. Only 15% of the winning lineups had a $200 player or less. As of right now, I just don't see that happening because there's no big names that may potentially be out, and then that would elevate someone that is priced lower. So I don't think that's going to happen in this one. But 80% of the winning lineups have had a $4,000 player or less on DraftKings, which is completely normal, and we'll look at that. So everything we do is on DraftKings, but with FanDuel, it's basically the same pricing, or it's basically the same setup now. The scoring's just a little bit different. The pricing's a little bit different. But you're able to see all of our core plays, all of our captain plays or MVP plays, and all of our flex plays if you go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com and check out the NFL tab and then the cheat sheet. We have them there. So the average winning lineup is 47,500. So you can feel good if you leave 2,500 on the table. Overall, that is the mean there. So stack percentages. A 4-2 stack is taking it down 47% of the time. A 3-3 stack is taking it down 33% of the time. And then a 5-1 stack is only taking it down 20% of the time. So then we look at the captain spots. 35% of the time it has been a wide receiver, but the running backs have now started to bridge that gap. 30% to a running back, 20% a QB. That does not take into effect mobile quarterbacks. We've got Lamar, we've got Tua. I'm okay with that. 8% of the time it's been a tight end. A couple years ago, I would have said Mark Andrews, kind of fallen down a little bit. We'll see. 4% of the time it's been a defense. If I were to take a defense, it would be the Ravens in this one. I don't trust Miami. And then 3% of the time it's been a kicker. Anytime a kicker is in the captain spot in the winning lineup, it has not been a good game. So let's not hope for that. So let's take a look at the matchup tool real quick. Now, this is how you read it. So these are the defenses. These are their ranks in the red zone. Both are very bad, 30 out of 32 and 28 out of 32. You can see 18. The Ravens have given up 14 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions, 1 300-yard passing game to a quarterback. Miami Dolphins, almost 1,700 yards, 11 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Then you look at this. Rushing, each team. So Baltimore has given up 2 rushing touchdowns to quarterbacks. Miami has given up 4. I love Lamar here. I fully expect him to get a tutty on this one as well. And then you can see one of you guys, one of the subscribers, you asked me to add this. So if there are certain things you want to see on this, I've got it for you. We've got per game stats. The attempts, the completions on average, and the yards per game is what the team's averaging. But you can see against the quarterback, the Ravens overall ranked 28th. The Miami Dolphins ranked 23rd. So Tua could be a sneaky play here if he's in fact, doesn't get hurt and he has a good vintage Tua game that we've seen in the past. Now, against the running backs, Baltimore's ranked 29th out of 32. Miami's ranked 21. You can see rushing 4.6 yards per attempt, and then 8 touchdowns and 6 touchdowns. Miami Dolphins have given up 3 100-yard rushing games. This could be Derrick Henry's best game of the year. You can see they do allow some receiving touchdowns. And then against the running back ranked 29th and 28th, there may be no defense in this game, which would be awesome. But then you get to the wide receiver. Miami's number 1. Okay. They are pretty good against that, where Baltimore is 30th, giving up an average of 40.3. So I think everyone's going to be on Baltimore. Baltimore's a implied team total of almost 8 more. It could be sneaky here. We could be sneaky and look at some Dolphins here. So do not think that you can't. And then tight ends. Both are pretty mid in the middle, 20 to 23, 14 and 14.8. That's kind of what I'm looking at. It just depends on the tight ends that come into play there. So let's build a couple of lineups. Let's see what you guys are looking for. If you're now again, I mentioned it before. These are tournament lineups. These are not cash lineups. So let's put it into play. Let's put it into play and see what we can build, you guys. We're going to use some of the stats. We're going to use the. I honestly think we could see Derrick Henry have a massive game. I could see Lamar having a massive game, whether or not probably not through the air, but through his legs. So I want to try to build something that makes a little bit of sense. Now, I don't think we're going to see a 4-1 stack take it down, or a 5-1 stack take it down, I should say. I think it's probably going to be 4-2, or it's probably going to be 3-3. But I want to see something with Lamar. So I'm going to put Lamar here. A Chan, I want him in there. I think we got to get Derrick Henry in there. I just do. Andrews. I think we look at Mark Andrews here. And then it takes us to Tanner Connor. So being the backup tight end with Waller being out, he's getting the targets. He really didn't do much with it. But if you look at the matchup tool against tight ends, you have Baltimore ranked 20th, giving up an average of 14, where you have Miami 23rd, 14.8. So again, tournament pick, that's what we have. We're at 2,100 the rest of the way. Maybe we do go Isaiah Likely. Even with both of them, the tight ends would be in a good spot. It is 4-2. We got a Chan and Connor. We got Lamar Jackson. It's going to tell me I'm in a bad zone. It's going to tell me it can't go through. It's going to tell me my account is locked. And then I'm just going to hit enter again, and it'll go. Oh, my account's not locked. I don't know why it does. Just give me a second. Okay, so that went through. I don't really know why it doesn't the first time. It does that every single time. So let's build one with Derrick Henry. So I think he probably has a good game here. I think we could get interesting with this lineup. So I'm going to put Derrick Henry here. I'm going to put Lamar. I'm going to put Zay. I know he doesn't have the best matchup on paper against Miami. Ingold is interesting. He doesn't obviously get much. He's a $200 player, but he allows some salary relief. But let's see if we can get anything else. So we're at 4,100, and we're looking for Miami, right? So we could go Ollie Gordon. We bring it down a little bit. We could go Westbrook Akine. Has he done much? I mean, he's been, the targets the past couple of games have been there. The yards have been there. With the wide receiver, if we look at this, Baltimore against wide receiver, second to dead last. So I'll put him in there. Now we're at 4,700. So DeAndre Hopkins makes a ton of sense. The Ravens defense I'm okay with. Got Dolphins defense I would not use. We got Connor that you could use. If you used Connor, Charlie Kohler, I believe, had a touchdown last week, right? 1 target, 1 reception, 10 yards, 1 touchdown. Yeah. National tight ends day. Isaiah Likely at $2,000. Okay. Tanner Connor. He's okay. He's had some yards there. So you could throw him in there. We've left 1,900 on the table. You got D. Henry at the top. I don't mind that whatsoever. And it lets me do my lineup. Let's do a couple more lineups. An interesting one would be if we use the matchup tool, we look at the running backs. They're very bad. So, okay, let's go with Chan. Because I do think Derrick Henry's going to have a big game, but let's try to get a little bit of differentiation here. So we got a Chan there. Lamar, Henry. Then where can we go from here? If we look at some of these, Malik Washington at 4,800, I'm okay with. Then we're at 2,600 the rest of the way. We need 2. Ikine would be 1. So then if we're looking for another one, we got 2,100. Isaiah Likely for Baltimore. Fuller for Baltimore. Keaton Mitchell. I mean, 43 yards last week in a good matchup. He could vulture a touchdown. He doesn't have one this year, but it's a possibility. He's 1,400. You've left 700 on the table. We'll go with that. And now let's try one. Let's get interesting. Let's try one last lineup with Tua at the top. So Tua, Achane, Waddle. Okay. We're at 13-2, so it's very hard. Yeah, you can't do Lamar there. You can't really do Henry. You could do Bateman. He's been decent at 51 yards. We haven't talked about him. Okay, we're at 6,800 for 2 spots left. So we could look at maybe a kicker. Riley Patterson might be a kicker. A little bit, 1,600 the rest of the way. Fuller, Mitchell, Dolchich. Didn't do anything last week. News-wise. So Waller's on the IR. So yeah, I mean, you could see Dolchich. He does have a good matchup here. He's the backup tight end. He's 600. We left 1,000 on the table. I'm okay with it. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to log into the sportsbook, and I'm going to show you one of my favorite bets for Thursday Night Football. Okay, so I've got Mark Andrews, 25-plus receiving yards. I've got Zay Flowers, 5-plus receptions. Derrick Henry, 70-plus rushing yards. Achane, 50-plus rushing yards. Malik Washington, 3-plus receptions. Now, that puts us at 625. There's a, on DraftKings, there's a 30% SGA, or SG, same game parlay boost, which puts it up to 813. Now, if you were to look at touchdown scores, Derrick Henry is minus 225. Achane is minus 165. Zay Flowers is 120. I honestly, I'm going to put $5 on this. I'm going to have Henry score, Achane score, Lamar score. Adding all those together, it puts us at 45.50. Again, that's 8 plays. You can take the touchdown scores out of there. I'm just going to throw $5 on it and have a day with it. So that's what I've got for Thursday Night Football. Be on the lookout for the main slate breakdown video, the Sunday Night Football breakdown video, the Monday Night Football breakdown video. We've got NBA, we've got MMA, we've got NASCAR for a couple more weeks. We are in the thick of it. Have fun, good luck, and as always, bring home some bacon. Peace.